All right, come enjoy some quiet time with me today as we scripture write in my planner.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Jasmine Plans. I am Jasmine, and today we are going to be scripture writing inside of my planner. So I have with me here Songs and Scriptures by Kell of a Plan. This will be my first time picking songs or scriptures from this book. I just thought it was so appropriate and I'm excited to use it. I also have to the side Amber Plans Her Day Bible Journaling Essentials, Volume 2 and 3. I'm not sure if I will go into these books. I'm comfortable with going into these books since I don't know this one completely yet. So I'm just going to have it off to the side in case I want to use it to fill in something. And I also have for some stickers from Love Posh. We're going to, in particular, use this set. I'll probably take the full pages out. And I have this doll from Coco's Visions, which is Pray More. And her shirt says Pray More, Worry Less. It fits the theme that we are going for. The theme is brought to you by Anika's Creative Closet. So every month she does put out a scripture writing plan. And this one was, this time I will be still, 31 days of stillness. This is her October scripture writing plan. I've been following her plan for more than 1 year now. And it was actually another content creator on YouTube in the planner community that I seen her scripture write. And that led me out to begin scripture writing. And I just went down that rabbit hole, and it was a good one to go down to. It's a time for me to slow down, be in the Word. It's not necessary to use the stickers, but it literally brought me back to just being in the Bible and opening it up. So for the Bible, I am going to be using my computer. So I have the YouVersion Bible app open. You can just go on to Bible.com. I like to use the New Living Translation as I go through it, in case you're wondering where am I getting the scriptures from. But I will tell you the scriptures that I will be writing down and just reading it out aloud before I actually write it. So you can follow along if you want to. More than likely, I'll probably also include the scriptures on the screen before I write it, just in case you want to follow along for the week. I know I'm posting this video midweek, but there is absolutely no harm in just going back and including it inside of your planner. If your planner is blank for the week, I encourage you to pick it up if you are into this type of thing and go ahead and journal. And if you are just into how I put the stickers on the page, just keep on watching. For my tools, of course, I have my planner. Just going to open up to my faith section. I am going to keep my planner on the table the entire time that I write because I just like the writing on the actual paper instead of trying to write on the table. I think it comes out weird with the greens from this background. But I'm just going to flip through, show you what I've done. But I was supposed to be showing you what I'm using today. I am using my Pentel Energel 0.5 needle tip pen. I absolutely love this pen for writing. I used to use a Sharpie S-Shell pen. I still love that pen, but I like this one even better. I'm also using the Uniball White Signal, just in case I need to cover up anything before I put down a sticker. Tweezers, which are necessary, and a small pair of scissors. This paper and layout is from Love Posh. It's the quad layout. This first spread that I've done, everything on this page is from Planning Press. These stickers I got, the decorative stickers here, I got as like a giveaway kind of thing, or she threw like I think it was a surprise bag that I purchased. And these stickers came in here, and I just thought it was perfect because it is fall and it was giving the fall vibes. These are autumn blooms from Planning Press as well, and the boxes are also from Planning Press. And I thought that came together lovely. Initially, when I saw the stickers, I was wondering when would I use it, but this was obviously the perfect time. These stickers are from Love Posh. I just recently finished doing a 7-day journal spread. You can check out that video if you like. And the theme was still be still. So when I think of being still, it brings me into nature, which is probably why I even chose these stickers, because it's nature. So Live Love Posh for the stickers and the boxes. These quotes are from Amber Plans Her Day Bible Journaling 2 and 3. More than likely this is from 3. And I'm going to say every single time she drops a book for Bible journaling or just faith planning, it gets better and better. So the next time she does the drop, I would check her out. I'm not an affiliate or anything, but if it's the one thing that I really and truly do love from Amber Plans Her Day, it's her Bible journaling stickers. I hope she comes out with them soon as like single sheets, kind of, sort of. So, next is a spread. This is from Martina Sticker Code, the Blooms. I did use Mojo Jojo Plans boxes. I do have a link for both companies that I will include down in the description box, but I'm not trying to be salesy here. This doll is from Coco's Visions, and I absolutely loved it. It was the last one that I had where her shirt said, "No worries, God got me," and it just totally fit the theme. And so does the sticker doll that I'm going to be using today. So we have this week's spread ready. And for Monday, actually, I just want to start out with a little bit of deco first. So someone did ask me before in the past, when do I actually write compared to putting down a sticker? I do both. I like to look and see how long the scripture is going to be that I'm writing, and that helps me decide what stickers I am using. So I'm just first going to take out this set so I don't have to keep flipping back in the book. I may only need one. Okay. We're just going to pull from the middle. Okay, so before I even get into the first scripture, I do like to fill in this side. We have some large stickers here of like coffee shops or just a pumpkin shop. I don't know what kind of shop it really is. But I do like to get these, like the biggest sticker that I have on a sheet down. And I'm going to let this take up that space. Next, I like to look at the scripture to see how long it is. So this first scripture for Monday is going to be coming from Romans chapter 8, verse 6. And it says, "So letting your sinful nature control your mind leads to death, but letting the Spirit control your mind leads to life and peace." So I will be writing that down. And then I also think about where do I want to include the box for the scripture. So you can do it on the top, you can do it on the bottom. If it's a little bit longer, I like to write down the scripture first, and then I will put down the box to say where the scripture came from. So I'm just going to pull this out just to lay it on top. I do write slanted, so that is the way I am going to be putting my page today. Hopefully it doesn't bother you. Okay, so that was that first scripture. I do need to include a box here. So there's a lot of like orangey colored box. We have that orange, yellow color. We can even use green here too. But since the name is not crazy long, I'm gonna go on with a yellow sticker. And then I'll write down that this is Romans 8:6. I'm not sure if it's shaking the camera while I am writing. So if it is, I'll probably do a transition in between the writing. So that way you guys are not experiencing the shaking. I don't want to make anyone dizzy here. All right, so we have this first shop here down. We do have some more room where we can possibly include another shop. So I think I want to do that just to extend out this look. Okay, so we're going to be putting this here first to fill in that space. And then I need something small to go here. And I think this one would fit in perfectly. So now it just goes all the way across. For my girl, I kind of feel like I want her like down here in the middle, but we're going to see what the scriptures down there look like as my doll typically fills up space. The next scripture is from Psalm 16:8-9, and it reads, "I know the Lord is always with me. I will not be shaken, for he is right beside me. No wonder my heart is glad, and I rejoice. My body rests in safety." For this one, I feel as if I do want to put a tree down, something that's not too large and overbearing. So we're gonna put a tree right down here. And the one thing at first I did not like about the pages from Live, Love, Posh was that the days went across and not on one page and then move to the next, which is what I'm used to. So I have gotten used to that. I can go ahead and also put a box here. So I'm taking a small box that I will put right over here. I will not be writing in this space. And I'm just going to write down that this is Psalm 16, 8, 9. All right, so I like how that turned out. I can take a tiny little tree, another sticker. Sometimes you need your tweezers, sometimes you don't. I think Live Love Posh have been making their stickers a little thicker where you don't need to grab a tweezers. So I'm just gonna put that down there. Next, I go on to day 22, and it says, this is from 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verses 16, and it reads, now may the Lord of peace himself give you his peace at all times and in every situation. The Lord be with you all. Since that is a short scripture, what I can do for this one here is I can take this larger piece and put it at the top. I don't care that it goes over the dates or anything. Next, I'll write the scripture. And before I write, there were times in church where we had to do readings in front of the entire congregations. And I think at some point, there was a time where I would be frantically looking through the scripture because I wanted to make sure that I knew every word that was in there. So I'm pretty sure I learned the word Thessalonians from my pastor because I would go to him and ask him what the words were. But just little things like that. I'm conscious of if I say it wrong on camera, what someone is going to say, but it's not going to keep me out of the word. But I just thought I should say that. Don't knock anyone for saying something wrong. Next thing I need is my sticker just to say where that scripture came from. Right now I'm unaware of what colors I've used already. I think I used green and yellow. But I'm pulling out a slightly bigger box just so I have enough room to write Thessalonians. So just a little about me and my spiritual journey. I grew up, I think I said in the last video as well, I grew up in the church all my life. And I was just talking with someone the other day about my experience with going to church. Our church was in walking distance from our home. And church started at 9 a.m. every Sunday morning. And my great-grandmother did not care if it was rain, sleet, snow. We were walking to church. And I remember there was a Sunday where it was a thunderstorm. And I'm like, Granny, how are we going to go out? We're going to get struck by lightning. And her words to me were like, well, how are you going to get struck by lightning if you're going to church? And I come from West Indian household, so if you know exactly how she said that to me, and you can only, just imagine. I do code switch at work and also on YouTube as best as I can. But overall, church was not something that was optional. You lived in her house, you went to church. And I felt like just because of the early mornings, it was something that kind of made me not want to go to church. Also, I don't know, I guess we were forced to go to church. However, I am going to say that did set a foundation that ultimately I came back to as an adult. There was a point in time where I did enjoy going to church as a teenager. We had to go to a new church because our old church building got demolished. It was in really bad condition. That's also another story. The church never rebuilt, unfortunately. And the new church we started going to, I remember we started in the summer. The church was taking a trip to Six Flags or something. And the congregation was it was myself and some cousins that were also going to the church. They was like, remember that the church already paid for you guys. You can go ahead and just come. And we were like, what? we never got an opportunity to do that at our last church. The last church just felt so boring. Like the songs were just so like stretched out. And I went to an Episcopal Anglican church, in case you're wondering. We used to wonder, like, how come we can't have like drums inside the church like the Baptist church or something to just keep us in there. So I am saying that to say, in order to keep younger folks in a church, like, have just things interesting for us. I mean, whether it's through music, whether it's through things that you do. I was also part of the youth group in my church growing up. And what took me away from church was beginning to work and working on a Sunday. My church was on Sunday. And after having my son, to me, it just felt a little bit more difficult to go to church. I know it's excuses, because if I had to get up for school or if I had to get up to work, I would go. And somehow I've made Sundays optional as to if I wanted to get up and go or not. But I am looking for a church home in my neighborhood. I don't live where I used to live anymore, and it takes a while to get there. I can still get there, honestly, but I do want to find something a little bit closer to home. Okay, for the next day, day 23, this will be Thursday the 23rd. The scripture for this day is from Colossians chapter 3, verse 15. And the scripture reads, "And let the peace that comes from Christ rule in your hearts. For as members of one body, you are called to live in peace and always be thankful." So at this point, I am going to take a leap of faith here when it comes to the decor, because I really love these trees that are here, and I also want to include my doll. So where did she go? All right. So she is here. Maybe the doll can end up being on the top of the other side, right? But anyway, I'm just gonna put her down. So I want her to look like, you know, she's walking to church, coming from church. She's a vibe though. Before I even start to write, I just want my box to be here. For this, I'll use a larger green box to write the name in there. Okay, so next we have Friday the 24th, and that is coming from Psalm 119, verse 165. And it reads, "Those who love your instructions have great peace and do not stumble." So I absolutely love that, you know, everything that is here has to do with peace. I start to think about the songs that I remember in church, and if it's one memorable thing that I really do have about church is the songs. I think it's the one thing that I remember. I cannot tell you about a scripture that was read in church. Don't ask me. I can't quote the book. I can't quote a chapter. I can't quote a verse. However, let's talk about a song. You can probably just start singing a song and I might even know. The thing that just made me think about that is someone asked in one of my recent videos, when was I going to do scripture writing again? And the song that came up into my mind, even though it's, you know, doesn't go, was the one that just starts out, "Soon and very soon we are going to see the King." So my response was soon and very soon. And this is as soon as I was able to do it. And obviously I didn't sing that because you guys make me nervous. So I made a little mistake while writing, but I didn't care. I just went ahead and continued writing over it. We do need a box. Since the word psalm is very short, I like to use a small box for it almost every single time. I realize here I put S at the end of psalm. I don't know all the time if an S is included or not. And we can add a little more decor to that as well. I like to try to make sure my decor is not repeating. So I did on this page see like a really tiny building, house, whatever you call it. And I figured we can squeeze that right in here. And then we can add something small to the bottom as well. I'm just really trying to not get anything repeating on the page. We can go with this corner piece down here, even though I don't want too much like in the same corner. And we can get a small tree over here as well. And this page is going to be ready for a quote that will come towards the end. A quote or a song. I'm excited about the songs that are in Caliber Plan sticker book. Right, so for day 25, Saturday, this is coming from Proverbs 17, verse 1. And it reads, "Better a dry crust eaten in peace than a house filled with feasting and conflict." Did you guys feel that one? Because for some reason, I felt it. Peace is something that I feel like I am always screaming for because life can just seem extremely chaotic. And I want to place something next to it. So there's a lot of like corner pieces here. I want to grab one of these. And my thought is to put it here and just let all of the words that I'm writing fall around it, which is another thing that I like to do. So we have Sunday next to 26. And that is going to be coming from James chapter 3, verse 18. And the scripture reads, "And those who are peacemakers will plant seeds of peace and reap a harvest of righteousness." So for this one, since it's not that long, I want to include something on the bottom. And I don't have like this kind of building shop there. And I think we might even be able to go like across the rest of the page. Should we? I'm gonna bring that down here. And then there's this building here that I know I don't have. Some of these images repeat and I just don't want the same image going across. And if there are like any spaces that need to be filled, we can still go in and fill them. Okay. All right, so we're going to just first start out with writing. There's 2 boxes here that are really close, which is why I'm not putting down a box first, in case you're wondering. All right, I want different sizes in the boxes, so I'm just gonna take a nice big green square, and we're going to write James 3:18 on that. If you made it to this point in the video, please make sure you do give the video a thumbs up. And so that I know you made it to this point, share a worship song that you enjoy listening to. I am trying to build a playlist with more worship songs to listen to as I do scripture write, whether I'm doing it in my car or I'm doing it at home. I do appreciate everyone who sticks with me. We're not done yet, so don't click and leave yet. We're not done. We do have some more stickers here that I can put down to take up some space. I'm debating what I want to do here. Maybe a quote will go there, but there are little leaves that I am putting down as like filler pieces because it is fall. All right, so let's go ahead. This is the fun part, looking for songs, scriptures, any sayings that kind of match the vibe. And I think I'm gonna go more towards the back. You can literally peek anywhere. And what I look for is a scripture that matches the theme that we've been writing. And everything has been about peace. First thing I just want to say is I don't know why I dig deep before like just starting from the beginning. Because right in the beginning, we have this one that says, "You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you." And that's from Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3. Do you say chapter or do you just say Isaiah 26, 3? This is just the way that I'm used to saying it in church, which is why I do that. So I think to move it over, because maybe I can include a tree behind it. So I don't have any small trees here, but I am going to use this cluster of trees. And we can stick a tree right behind. And then we can also just spruce it up with a leaf as a filler piece. I think it will be best to include another. We have a scripture, so maybe what I really want is to choose a song or words from a song. Okay, in my head, I think I saw "Let There Be Peace on Earth" in here. And that was a song that I remember singing in church when we would go around and shake each other's hand, giving the peace. I can't find it right now, but what I did find was this scripture that just says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you," which is from John chapter 4, verse 27. So I am going to place that right down here we are going to say we are done with the spread. Thank you so much for scripture writing with me today. And until next time, go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Bye.